One of the most important reasons why you need to get your kids involved in prayer and knowing God's word and seeking God as a kid, as a teen, as a young adult, and establish this pattern of seeking God definitely for every major decision of their life is because they will have to make so many decisions on their own without you out there, right? And marriage is one of them that is their decision. Like God is, needs to be a part of that. But a lot of times what I'm finding, as I said in a few other posts, is that people wait to include God after they meet the person or after they've been dating for some time or after they're like, oh, is this the one for me? It is so very important that God is involved in the selection process, right? And so, one of the things that my husband did when he was courting and trying to find his wife is he told God before he ever met me, when I ask my wife these questions, this is how she's going to answer, and I will know that she's my wife by her answer to this one question. And so he got that from the Rebecca and Isaac story about how Isaac knew that was his wife because she watered his camels, right? And so it was very biblical based decision, but that is something that he had already gotten used to. He had already gotten used to seeking God for making major decisions. And then one of the most biggest decisions you will ever make, and I will probably argue the most decision you will ever make outside of your salvation with Jesus is who you marry, right? And so this decision has to be something that you seek God for in terms of your selection process before you ever start like really dating them. It has to be included then, right? Because before you get your heart involved, before your emotions get involved, before you've already introduced them to your friends and your family, you feel like you've already down the road, you need to know that you're not doing this in vain. And so getting that answer up front. So figuring out like how can I know up front if this is somebody I should even spend my time with, and praying about that. And asking God to help you. But for your children, teach your children to seek God now. Like even the small decisions that they make that might not seem big, you're establishing a pattern of seeking God, of knowing like, okay, I'm not going to make this decision by myself because my flesh will probably make the wrong decision. My flesh will make the wrong decision, but that by the time that you have to make those big decisions, you have already established it. And that when you go to make that big decision of who do I marry, who does God have for me, you already know that he will be there helping you make that decision. Passes along to your youth and your friends and your family.